So my wife has always wanted to work from home, and now she has the opportunity to do just that. I'm super excited for her, but maybe truth being told, I might even be more excited to build her desk setup. After completing the process, I must say it was a ton of fun setting up this work from home studio office space for my wife, who works as a nurse case manager. I wanted to create a space where she could be productive, stay inspired, and even be organized. She also mentioned to me that she wanted to create more content, so less friction in enabling her to do that played in the thought of my mind when I was building this desk setup. We don't have a ton of room, so I had to be intentional with every single inch. After measuring this space, I landed on a 40 by 24 inch desk, compact but still super functional. I reached out to Desky and they were kind enough to send help. The desk that I chose was the Desky dual mini hardwood sit stand desk in their walnut finish. The setup was super quick and easy for me. The tabletop comes with some pre-drilled holes and threading for the screws, so you really don't have any room for mistakes or guessing what goes where. The legs are easy to assemble and attach, and the quality just feels very premium straight through the build of this desk. Desky also sent over their integrated cable management system, which I quickly installed because this is a must. A beautiful workspace for me should always look clean, and hiding your cable is a part of that. The tray keeps everything tucked away, and with this being my second Desky desk, the process was even more smooth, if even that's a word. The desk features a height range of 23.6 inches being at the lowest to 49.2 inches at the tallest, and to be honest, I did not know 49.2 inches was that tall until I allowed the desk while sitting on it to go to its maximum height range. I was quite nervous being up there, so it is great for sitting and standing, something that I know my wife will appreciate when she wants to change up her position while talking to her clients. And also notably, there is actually minimum amount of wobble when the desk is at its full height. This is where it gets even more fun. Via the Desky app, you could do height presets with 4 memory slots along with RGB accent lighting colors, and this app also allows you to do voice control, so that's something that is quite useful. And you could even set alarm reminders to do something like stand up or stretch via the mobile app itself. I feel like that's very cool, especially for nurses who go through a ton of stress. I just wanted to mention before I even forgot that the controller pod also has a hidden like USB Type-C charging port, so you could quickly charge your devices without even having to set up something extra on your desk. Links to this item will be down in the description below, and I also want to mention that you don't have to pick up this specific size or colorway from Desky. If you go on over onto their website, you'll be able to see a different selection, a wide range of different desks and colors and sizes that you could choose from that fits into your workspace. And I want to say thank you again to the team over at Desky for quickly sending over this wonderful and beautiful, high quality, safe, sustainable desk. Sitting on top of the desk is this 27-inch ultra-fine 4K LG monitor. I was honestly surprised by how sharp and vibrant the display is. One of the concerns that I had was because my wife was sitting directly in front of the window, I wanted to have a monitor that was bright enough to compensate with the light that she will be getting from the background. But I was super surprised and honestly super shocked by how sharp and vibrant the colors were coming out of this monitor. For the ports, we have one USB-C which delivers up to 95 watts of charging with that one single cable setup that I know many of you guys like on your desk setup. Along with that, we have both two USB Type B and two HDMI ports and one display port. I really just enjoy how minimalistic LG branding of their monitors are. It just gives this clean and sleek design. LG is always for the win in my book when it comes onto their monitors, and they are at a reduced cost, especially in comparison to Apple 4K or even 5K monitors. To save space, I mounted the monitor using a Vivo monitor arm, something that I picked up from Amazon. I really don't remember if that's the name of the brand, but I'll have the links down in the description below. I didn't want to use the monitor arm that came with the monitor because it really takes up too much desk space, and that's a lot of real estate that I don't quite have with this tabletop. For video calls, I hooked her up with the Osmo Tiny 2 webcam. Comes with a 1.5 CMOS sensor for sharp 4K video, and also is AI powered with auto tracking feature with gesture controls, something that is so easy to use. And probably one of my most favorite feature is the privacy feature that hides the camera when not in use. And if you're someone that even uses the regular webcam on your laptop, make sure that you get webcam covers, please. Pouring everything is her MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro chip. This was actually my old machine. If you've been following me up on this channel, you know that I recently upgraded to the M4 Pro chip, and this is still a beast, having 13-inch Retina display and a 1TB SSD, a huge upgrade from her, I believe, 256 gigabit. She had the M1 MacBook Pro. Plenty of ports. Thank you again to Apple for actually listening to us. The laptop rests on this beautiful native union stand. This thing is quite sturdy, no wobble, clean angles, and to me it really elevates this setup. Underneath it, I see my wife storing stuff like her pens, watch, and other small accessories. It's really like a subtle way of having a little bit of organization with saving space and having great functionality. If you've been following this channel, you already know the combination of productivity accessories that I'm going to recommend from my dear friends over at Logitech. Even though they're not sponsoring this video, Logitech, if you're watching this video, how come you guys haven't sponsored any of the products on this channel? But I have the MX Master keys along with the MX Master 3. This is not the 3S, but this is the 3. These are the productivity items that I dream about every single night. Multi-purpose device pairing both for Mac and Windows. Plush concave keys for typing and having a great long day experience. Ergonomic shape that comes both with the mouse and also the keyboard. The mouse has horizontal scrolling along with vertical scrolling, great for working sessions that require you to have no strains and no carpal tunnel in your future. They sit on a simple Amazon desk mat, nothing too fancy, but my wife likes the feel, and to be honest, I also like the feel, but personally I would have gone with a different colorway, but hey, what the wife likes, I also like. Huge shout out to the team at FIFA who sent over their Ampli-Game Stream controller with 15 macro keys. My wife is not a gamer nor a streamer, but this thing is great for productivity. It allows you to do things like launching applications or even for shortcuts of things that you do on a everyday basis, and also allowing you to have custom functions. Setup was easy, but there are two downsides that I want to mention to you. Both are on the software side. So for the installing this application on your device, and I'm speaking on behalf of Mac users, if you actually try to install this application, it doesn't store in the applications folder on the device. For me, it's like when you're trying to install something, it still stays on the desktop, if that makes sense. But that's one downside, and the other is if you're creating a shortcut for a URL, let's say for YouTube, as I have it here, when you go and you add your URL, it tries to get a PNG or an image of that URL. It is not as sharp as an application that you would have already have installed on your computer. But those are the two downsides that I wanted to keep in the focus of the minds of you guys when you're purchasing a device like this. But for the price, it really doesn't get the job done. But no other complaints from this device. Also from Fifine, we got this clean USB XLR mic for when she needs a better audio quality. Sometimes she uses the mic coming from the ops but tiny, especially when she's on call, but this kind of takes it a step further, especially when she wants to have a recording session or she just feels like she doesn't want to strain her voice and she want to have her mic close to her mouth and have that kind of richer, deeper voice control that you could have using a microphone like this. To tie everything together and eliminate clutter, I used the Ivanki's Fusion Dock Pro 3, and this thing is a premium device. It is a little bit weighty. I remember putting it under my desk, and 2 times while I used the 3M tape to actually get it strapped on below my desk, it fell down for those 2 times. But after reinforcing those 3M tapes, it was able to stay, and it's been a couple days now and it is still sturdy under my desk. It supports Thunderbolt 5 with 80 gigabits of bandwidth, and it is backward compatible with Thunderbolt 3 and 4 and supports dual 6K display support. I don't have two 6K monitors actually tested out or have on this setup. However, I did make sure that I tested it for you guys. So $150 out of my pocket, I picked up 2 USB Thunderbolt 5 cables, and I have them connected as you can see right here, and I will be connecting it to my MacBook Pro, and we should be able to see both TVs connected. And as you obviously tell, these are 2 Apple Studio displays. How could I have forgotten about the chair? This is from a company called FlexiSpot. The chair feels good. It's quite plush. I like the mesh design of it, and I like the headrest. It's quite comfortable. I usually use this as my gaming chair in another room, but I've given it to my wife for now. The only thing that I don't like about it is pretty much the design of it. I think that it is too bulky, especially for this space, because this is kind of in our living room at the corner of the window, and it is huge. So I do want to be able to change this to something quite minimalistic, has a lower profile, and actually still has some of the functionality that this one has by being comfortable to sit in. I think that's the most and main important point. But this is the chair that seats my wife when she's working at her desk. I kept lighting simple with a Govee RGB strip behind the desk, kind of to give it a soft glow, especially working at night, because in the day you really don't need this. And then along with that, on the side, I have a Govee Smart table lamp. These things are amazing. If you've been on this channel before, you know that I use it pretty much everywhere in my house, and this could be controlled via their mobile app that gives it a ton of functionality when it comes down to selecting different colors. And also I have a Govee Smart plug, which she's able to like control the desk, whether she goes out, she runs out, she wants to turn it off and turn it on. She's actually had the functionality to use the Govee Smart plug. But I think that kind of wraps it up for this setup makeover. Let me know down below things that you liked about this desk setup, things that you did not like. After making this desk setup, I said to myself, oh, I really need to change the space that I'm working in. So stay tuned for my desk setup or makeover for 2025, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you have not. Leave a like and make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. That wraps up. Peace out, God bless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.